Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you're all well. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the resilience framework and its relation to the strength-based approach, and I'm going to leave you a question to think about as well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jasmine. I'm a practicing social worker, and I share my experiences here on the channel, both social work and non-social work related. Please go ahead and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and share with a colleague or a friend that you think might benefit from it. Let's get right into it. Anyway, so I actually had thought of putting together a video around the strength-based approach / assessment. A subscriber of mine had left a comment recommending that I make a video on this. I do have a video talking about the strength-based approach, which I'll link in the description box below for people that want to check that out. But there's not much that's different to what I said in that video, but obviously I'm going to relate this video to the resilience framework as well. Alright, so what is the resilience framework in social work? So generally the resilience framework is basically the idea that, you know, individuals have the capacity or the strength to recover completely from trauma, stress, or any kind of adversity that has happened in their life. Generally social workers that work from a strength-based perspective would use this idea in working with their clients. So because we kind of recognize that this client has the capacity to come out of whatever it is, or they've been able to get to from A to B despite everything that has happened, so definitely there is some resilience that's involved there, and that's why they've been able to come out of it. So generally, you know, with the strength-based approach, if you're using it in conducting an assessment with a client, because you know you obviously work with the resilience framework, then the things that you would take into consideration are, you know, trying to identify the resources that the client has already and how beneficial it has been for them, and tapping into that or encouraging them to continue to tap into that. In assessing them, you would also use like active listening skills, being open, asking open-ended questions, and in the way you interview them, just being open in how you sit, like nodding, sitting openly, being empathic as well, putting yourself in the shoes of the client, and being really open-minded as well. So not judging whatever has happened to them, but just listening to it for what it is as well. Lots of paraphrasing as well. So whilst you're interviewing, you would be obviously repeating certain things that the clients may have said to make sure you're getting the full picture of what has happened. But at the same time, you can use that in pointing out the positives that may have happened throughout the story, so that the client might become aware of it. This way you help to boost their confidence, and when it gets to a point, you basically work with the client to a point where they've identified their own strengths, so they will not need a social worker or someone to hold their hand forever. You can work with them to a certain time, and then they can move on and go on and do their own thing. So, and this is why I really do value the strength-based perspective, because I feel like every individual, regardless of what you've been through, do have a set of strengths, and sometimes it takes that other person to help you identify them so you can use that in your work. So regarding the resilience framework, I came across this news article that was talking about basically whether this resilience framework is something that can be transferred over to direct workers as well. So obviously, like in our work, we use it with clients, but this article was sort of talking regarding whether that's something that we can transfer to us, so that we can minimize burnout or avoid burnout completely. And I thought it was interesting. Like, I think every human being is resilient, and you know, we all do have the capacity to come out of any adversity, including burnout. But at the same time, I think that it's more important to focus on supporting social workers so they don't get to burnout, rather than focusing on them getting to burnout and then helping them to be resilient so they come out of it. So I think, you know, a lot of it is on organizations and the systems and stuff like that, like minimizing caseloads, making sure that social workers are getting the supervision that they need, making sure they're getting the peer support that they need. And social workers obviously need to take the responsibility to make time for self-care and, you know, taking regular breaks, all the general stuff like that as well, so that they don't get to the point of burnout, rather than getting to the point of burnout before, like, using your resilience to bounce back out of it. Because I think that burnout is something that will be very hard to come out of. Like, it's not something that you can just do a little thing and get out of. So, and I think it's hard to kind of compare it to client situations as well, because for most clients, they have, like, the stuff that has happened to them did not happen by choice. You know, there was not much they could do. A lot of them, the stuff that happened was, you know, maybe sexual abuse, parents maybe were using drugs and alcohol, they witnessed certain things that they weren't supposed to witness when they were much younger. And then when something like that happens, then you use resilience to come out of it, and hopefully come out on the other side. But if it's something that you're aware of, is something that you can sort of work to prevent, then why allow it to happen and then use resilience to come out of it, if that makes sense? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that resilience framework is something that can be used with social workers as well, or do you think that is something that can only be used with clients? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found this helpful, remember to give it a like, share it with a friend who you think will find it beneficial. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. If you guys have any other recommendations for videos and stuff like that, leave it in the comment section below. And then if I feel like I'm well equipped to talk about it, then I definitely will. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.